Well, after conceding 2 goals after the 83rd minute away from home in Leverkusen last week, West Ham have it all to do tomorrow at the London Stadium if we are to stand any chance of going through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. By Leverkusen had a decent weekend. They won the Bundesliga and had a blooming good party. The only hope West Ham have got is if that party has continued for about 5 days. I hope you are all well. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on our match preview, Europa League quarter-final, second leg. Gary and Mike joining us. How are we, boys?
Good.
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Good stuff. Gary, we'll start with you. Listen, we've got an uphill battle, but you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, we certainly need to score first. That's a given. Yeah. So if we can score first and go in at half-time 1-0, it's all to play for then. But, personally, I think they're the best team that we've played against this season. Their press was just incredible, how fast they were and how quickly they closed us down. And you can fully see why they're 40-odd games unbeaten and why they won the league already. They look a very, very good side. So we're going to have to come up with something special to win. The pictures today of Bowen back in training gives me a bit of optimism. Alvarez is back, so it's going to be difficult. I looked at the bookies odds before I came on. We're 10-1 to qualify. So that's not good, but let's have a go.
Look, don't get me wrong, they're a good side, but I also saw weaknesses there last week. And look, you could find plenty of weaknesses in us. I didn't think we got the ball to Antonio enough where he had that run on that centre-half tar a couple of times. They looked pretty scared of Antonio up front. That was one of the things that I pointed out. They weren't fantastic last week. They're a good side, don't get me wrong, Mike, but they weren't absolutely amazing. And 83 minutes gone last week, it was 0-0 and we were well in it.
Yeah, we were, but they had a hell of a lot of the ball, Jake. And if you let a team have that, the confidence they got from winning 41 games in a row. I mean, you give them that much of the ball and they're going to punish you in the end. And it was always when we got tired at the end. And I know it was from set pieces, but it's still tired minds. That's the problem. Yeah. I just think we just got to go out and give it a crack. You might as well lose it 5-0 as 1 or 2-0 and just leave nothing in the dressing rooms and just go out there and just give it everything they got.
Yeah, exactly. Mike's 100% right there, Jay. There's no excuse at all for not leaving it all on the pitch tomorrow. Say if we lose 5 or 6-0, we lose 5 or 6-0, but we've got to really attack and we've got to have a go.
Yeah. And I tell you what, it would just be incredibly tedious if we went out there and, I don't think we'll do to the extent of what we did last week. But if we did a similar game plan and just tried to do them on the counter attack, it would just be tedious. We've got to get it, and I know to an extent we've got to understand who we're up against here, but we've got to take the brakes off, take the handbrake off a little bit. We're 2-0 down. We're at home. If we can get a goal early, which it's unlikely, they're a fantastic side. But if we can get a goal early, that crowd rises quickly. All of a sudden, there's only one goal in it. You get a bit of luck, you get a second goal. Things happen quickly. As we saw last week, we were well in the tight 0-0, giving them 80% of the ball, which was our game plan. That's what Moyes wanted to do, try and absorb the pressure and frustrate them, which we did to all intents and purposes until the last 10 minutes. A football game can change like that. And it can change back the other way if we put the right mindset into it. We've just got to, A, have that slice of luck, and B, utilise that home crowd that we're going to have, because they used it. They spurred them on last week, and they ended up coming out on top. We've just got to have a bit of faith in ourselves. And as Gary mentioned, Bowen back, Alvarez back. It's a positive. I know we're without Paqueta and Emerson, but we've just got to give it a go, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, to be totally honest, I think we paid them a little bit too much respect. There was a weakness. We saw that. Taz, obviously, he's not got a lot of pace. Antonio, a couple of times there's fighting against 2 or 3 defenders all the time. And he nearly he did win the ball off 3 of them on a couple of occasions, but that was it, a couple of occasions in the whole game. If he's got no one up there with him to pass the ball to, he's got no chance. Someone has got to be pushed up right alongside him. And we just have to take a chance. We'll leave holes, and they'll be probably good enough to pick holes. But we just have to, like I say, Jake, hopefully we're a little bit lucky and we don't concede an early goal like we always bloody do, and that we actually get one ourselves. And then, like you said, the crowds have been really good. For the big games, the crowds have been good this year. You know, the Tottenham game, I thought that atmosphere was fantastic.
Chelsea was good.
Chelsea was good. We get up for those games. It's the Fulhams and the flipping, you know, it's just those sort of games, isn't it? Yeah, when you play a Burnleys and Fulhams and that, no disrespect to those teams, but fans just don't seem to get up for those games. You know, when we played Burnley, you know, I sit next to away fans. There was no one there. You know, there was no one in the top tier. I mean, we don't get up for those games. I hope the atmosphere is electric.
There we go. And the dog really wants us to go and give it a go as well. As dog that is.
Like my dog wants to appear on TV.
He wants to make his appearance.
There we go. You've done just that. Luke at AFC, thanks for joining us. I hope you are well. Theme part Louis Hoyle, we need a good lineup tomorrow, otherwise we're screwed. And we've got a couple of players back and we're missing a couple of players, so should probably balance things out. Yes. Ryan, thanks for joining us. I hope you are well. Sharky, member for 27 months. Thank you very much indeed. The biggest game of the season so far, so I goes without saying. Absolutely. You know, if we could do the unthinkable tomorrow, and get through, all of a sudden it sets up a tie against Milan or Roma, I think it is, and more to the point, it will make a hell of an away day on Sunday at Palace if we do win. But that's a lot of ifs and buts and hypotheticals, which are a long way down the line. 108 London says, I think we will score, but don't think we will stop them scoring. Hope we ever go. And hearing Cornet starts, but if Cornet starts, I'll be absolutely amazed. He had to, he put Earthy on in front of him at the weekend, and then he only came on because, of course, what happened. So unfortunate to Earthy in the game on Sunday against Fulham. So look, I'd expect, obviously, Paqueta's got to come out and Bowen comes in, hopefully. Saw him training, pictures of him training today. Also pictures of Phillips training today. Let's keep him well away from that starting lineup tomorrow if we stand any chance. So look, expecting a midfield of Ward-Prowse, Souček and another to sit in. Who are we thinking? Alvarez, of course.
Yeah.
God, I've lost it. Alvarez, of course.
I think how I would play, Jake, I would certainly, controversially, I'll keep Ings in the team because he's a goal scorer. And I think we've got to hit it long, play the old Wimbledon style into the channels, because we saw Antonio's got the pace to worry them and the strength. And Bowen will be in the team, he's got pace as well. So I play it long, bypass the midfield and just pressurise them in their last third, try and force a mistake out of them, which is different tactics to what we played last week. And if the crowd's behind them, it could make it very uncomfortable for them. If we get a goal, if Mickey gets his shooting boots on, he missed that one against Fulham, so hopefully he's got that out of his system. And then let's have a go, because Danny Ings has got a goal in him. Bowen's always scored lots of goals. We've got to start on the front foot. It's really important. We just really positive right from the start. I don't want this David Moyes, let's sit back and contain it for 20 minutes. No, let's go for it.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you just mentioned that Mikel Antonio missed. Did that look as bad from your seat as it did from my nice padded seat on Sunday, Mike?
Yeah, I thought it was bad. Yeah, but not so I watched Match of the Day later and I realised that bad.
Such a lack of composure, wasn't it? Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was.
It was. For sure. What would your team lineup be tomorrow? That's fit, isn't it? Here we go. Fabianski, Ariola is back training, but Fabianski, the cup keeper, so we're expecting to start. Soufal, Zuma, Ogbonna, Johnson, Ward-Prowse, Souček, Kudus, Bowen, Antonio, and Ings.
No Alvarez.
Oh yeah, I think he's missed out Alvarez there. But
you'll see a changed team in a minute.
Yeah, hang on, just wait for it to change again. But Miss Amarat, thanks for joining us. I hope you are well. Andy as well. Let's have a little look here. A new emoji. There we go. You asked for a Kudus emoji and you've got it. It doesn't show up on here, but it's there. Sharky, you're welcome. Thank you very much indeed. There we go. Alvarez Frings. Oh, that's a proper Moyes change. That is Alvarez Frings.
Another controversial statement. Paqueta has been poor the last few games, so the fact that he's out is not really. It is going to hinder us, but it's not. I think he's been off. His mind's been elsewhere. So the last few games myself. I don't know what you think, Mike.
I honestly think, right? His head's been turned, obviously, and who wouldn't be by Man City? But what he should be doing is showing Pep Guardiola what he can do. And if he's watched him the last few games, I don't think they'll take him.
No.
Honestly, it might be a controversial thing I'm saying here, but if they've been watching him for the last few games and they analyse the amount of times he goes down on the floor and feigns injury, don't get me wrong, he's been a brilliant player. He is one of the most gifted players we've had in a long, long time. And I like watching those sort of players, but it's too much of the theatrics. I'm sorry, but
And also,
honestly, I don't think it. If Pep's been watching him, maybe he can, take that out of him. But I don't think he can. I think he's there.
Not a Pep player. He doesn't strike me as a Pep player. He's got that bit of an attitude. He's got that bit of bite about him, and Pep won't have any of that.
He's also a bit immature because the three of us could have put £100 each to forget last week. Easily. We knew it was going to happen, and he must have known it was going to happen. And what, 10 minutes or something, 15 minutes?
And it was a poor challenge. You're right.
Yeah, it's just common sense. Keep yourself away out of anything. Don't give the referee a decision to make, because he wasn't that card happy last week, so he could have got away with it.
He could have done it if it was a silly challenge. Yeah. Emerson was unlucky with his. That was one of those which could have went either way, and but Quetters was petulance, and he'd lost the ball, and he just, he got frustrated. And you've got to keep your head. You've got to keep your head. Yeah. And okay, I can understand it a little bit because he thinks he's got to do it all because he's the kingpin of the team, and we're playing deep, and it's not how he wants to play and all that. I can understand those little bits, but you've still got to keep your cool, knowing how important he is for the next game as well. But Gary, you're right. He ain't had a good game for 3 or 4 now.
No, he's very important to the team. But if you gave me a choice of keeping Kudus and Paqueta, I'd keep Kudus myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so would I. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He's just like, the last week he's let us down. I thought he was poor against Fulham as well. He just seems over the top frustrated and trying to do too much energy wise. And and to be fair, if we're being totally honest, he was lucky to not get sent off last week. He had a couple of challenges after he got booked, and I think Robbie Savage said on commentary, if Moyes might take him off here, and he didn't. But he really did. Here we go. It took, how long did it take? 13 minutes. I can confirm Jake tried. There we go. See, I've come to the conclusion. Look at Gary. I've come to the conclusion that Mike's just too kind. He can't accept anything. Can you?
No, Gary, he offered to buy me a tea.
Only after he knew he'd get it free.
But he knew very well, because I'm president, I get it free anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang on, you said on here the other night, you've got to pay your own way and all this rubbish, right? You pay them 20 quid a month. I should hope you get a blooming cup of tea on the house. Flipping now. Honestly. Terry's back there drinking the tea as well, so you should get back in there and just start drinking it, Mike. Honestly, so I went up to him before the match. I said, Mike, do you want a drink? No, don't worry, mate. Don't worry.
They did. I was looking for the Dranbury Shandy, but they didn't have any. So
Dranbury Shandy.
I don't even know what that is. So
put it this way, Jake. Don't have too many of them at your age.
Okay, no. Right. Okay. Right. We'll get the serious stuff out of the way, and we'll revisit this conversation in about 10 minutes to finish the show off, because we can get derailed, or I can get derailed quite quickly. Right. Let's take some of your comments. Mr. Simon, he's come back on here. Chelsea won 6-0 the other night. Here he is. Hope you are well, mate. Michael as well. Hope you're keeping well. Here we go. What he says. Sorry, I've not had a chance to get on the lives recently. I'm well, especially after Monday's Cole Palmer 4 goals. Yeah,
we were heavily linked with him, weren't we, in the summer? He was a big target of us.
I think it could have been a part of a deal, couldn't it, with
like I said,
and then because of his the cloud over his head about the betting allegations, it didn't happen. So he looks a very good player, but when you look how much money Chelsea have spent on other players that haven't been very good players,
that penalty thing, I mean, Jesus.
Oh, I know, it was embarrassing, wasn't it? Just like a bunch of schoolboys, wasn't it? It was just so poor. But look, yeah, I mean, they spent bucket loads of money, and I think it's one of the first players Pepper's let go that have actually flourished elsewhere. I mean, he's usually a pretty good judge of players and only lets go players who he doesn't believe he can get the best out of, and he's gone and he's been brilliant at Chelsea. One of the very few. Here we go. See, they're all kicking in with it now. Look, that's dangerous. All those moths flying around. Oh dear. Jake bought all the drinks on Sunday. Yeah, they were all free. Barry's gonna put the kettle on. There we go. I'll have a cuppa, 2 sugars, a dash of milk. Wow. I'm afraid my knowledge and skill doesn't quite stretch that far.
We'll have to get him trained up.
Oh, here we go. Michael says, where would Chelsea be without Palmer this season? He has 55% of their goals. That is a ridiculous stat. They'd be in like 15th without him. That's mental. That is absolutely mental.
What would you guys do at the back? Because I thought Aguero again was shaky at the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
And Mavropanos, he's got an error mistake in him. So I literally don't know what to do. Zuma and Oggy, but I don't know. What do you think?
It's difficult, Gary, because like Mavropanos, he'll have a really good game, or he'll have 2 really good games, and then he plays does one of those stupid things and gives a goal away. The consistency just hasn't been there with him or Gerd.
So what would your back four be, Mike? What would your back four be?
I'd probably go with Zuma and Oggy, and Johnson and Kufel.
I'd go, I'd go Johnson and Soufal. But the one thing I'll say on Mavropanos, I've been impressed with him in recent weeks. And I said, as soon as he made the mistake for the first goal, I said, there's only one difference here. Zuma's there, not a good. He hasn't put a foot wrong with Zuma next to him in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think he's been excellent, Mavropanos. I put Zuma back alongside a Gerd. I understand not playing Zuma because his knees are ridiculous. But I think Zuma's stepped up in the last few weeks as well. And I think Mavropanos has I think that's helped him as well. I'd start Zuma, Mavropanos, Soufal right, Ben Johnson.
Neither of you will play Cresswell?
No, I wouldn't.
It just worries me that guy's got so much pace, hasn't he? That right winger. That's what worries me about Cresswell. I know he had a great game when we beat Freiburg 5-0. He was outstanding in that game. I think that Moyes probably will play Cresswell. To be totally honest, he will play him. But I'm just worried about the lack of pace. And I know Ben Johnson. You know what I mean? He's come on and he's had a few little cameos, but he's also got a mistake in him as well, to give a goal.
That's why his contract's running out at the end of the day.
Yes.
I'm not sure whether he'll start Cresswell. I don't know, because I think he made a point of starting Cresswell last week with the protection of Emerson there. I think that's how he just probably justified it to himself with the pace they had to start Cresswell with Emerson there as even more additional backup. I don't see him start. Do you know what? I don't think he'll start Cresswell. I disagree. I think he will go Johnson. I'll be incredibly surprised if he starts a flat back 4 with Cresswell in it. If he wants to chuck another centre half, or if he wants to put Cresswell in as a left centre back and put Johnson as a wing back, I could potentially see that, but I don't see him hanging Cresswell out to dry as a left back on his own, because let's be honest, he will get absolutely, because they'll chuck that whoever Boniface or whoever, they'll chuck someone out there, and unfortunately he'll get rinsed. And Johnson isn't great defensively, but he's got that pace that can bail him out.
Trouble is, Soufal's not quick either, is he? So both fullbacks we struggle with. We just need a defensive miracle, really. We need to be a lot better than we have been.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm just thinking about going to a back 5 then, but I'm thinking, are we going to go to a back 5 when we're 2-0 down in a second leg? For goodness sake, that's probably not the thing to be doing, is it? But look, there needs to be a shift here. I think we can all collectively agree. A shift in tactics, a shift in mindset. If we stand any chance of going and winning this, we need to be switched on and change from minute 1 and have that slice of luck along the way.
Yeah, I think we need to be more aggressive, and Gary's probably right. Let's play to our strengths. Let's try and nick those little balls in behind them, suck them in, and nick those little balls in behind them, and give Antonio and Kudus, who will rip them a new one. Both of them will, their defence, because that is their only weakness, and we've got to use our only strength against their only weakness. That's the
Yeah.
only way we can beat them. That's the only possible chance we got.
I mean, Tar was so slow against Antonio. He had him on toast. So, you know, if we, because they seem to press very high, Leverkusen. If we get over the top, I fancy Antonio 9 times out of 10 to get onto it. Whether we score or not, it's a different issue.
And not just lump pointless balls up and stick it on Tar's head.
Balls over the top, you know. I know, like, obviously, Paquetá is really the man that can play those little passes, but well, on Sunday he was trying his little outside of the boot things, and none of them were coming off, were they? And it's just.
But I say he's got
more praise. Maybe he could play them balls.
I was just about to say exactly what I was saying, Mike. He needs to step up, Ward-Prowse. He needs to step up. I'm sick and tired of he's in for his dead balls. I don't care about his dead balls. Show you can play football as well. You know, he's got a chance. Let's make these passes. Let's be quick on the ball. He's too slow on the ball for me, Ward-Prowse. It takes too long to think about it. So he needs to step up tomorrow in the absence of Paquetá.
Yeah, and that's the fundamental issue with our midfield. If they completely out-footballed us in the away leg, there's no doubt about that. But if you look at our midfield, there's too many players that get a pass. Souček and Ward-Prowse get a pass every week on that side. Souček, yes, he brings something to it. But, I mean, players look... I mean, Kudus especially looks at Souček and sees him as an option to pass to. If there's somebody around him, he won't bother. He'll just try and do it on his own. Because Souček trying to get the ball away, I mean, his passing ability is not great, is it? He's got 3 seconds. He's got 3 touches to get control of the ball to start with. And then he's got to try and offload it before there might be somebody there who just nicks the ball off of him. We need to be quicker. We need to be sharper. There needs to be a change to that because, you know, Ward-Prowse, Souček, they get a pass in midfield and they need to step up tomorrow because it's all got to string together perfectly.
You know, perhaps he does something completely different.
Yeah.
You know, like puts Danny Ings in the hole or something like that because
that's what I agree.
That's where he's had his best. That's where he's had his best games, and he has got those quick feet. To be fair to him, he has got the ability on the ball to move it and pass it in 1-2 movements, unlike Ward-Prowse and Souček, basically. So maybe he goes for that, you know.
That's exactly what I do, Mike. You need to open them up quickly if you're going to get past because they're a good side. You know, they're not going to let Ward-Prowse have 3 seconds on the ball. You know, and he's too safe, Ward-Prowse. He plays it sideways and square all the time. You know, we've got to attack him. We've got to get some incisive balls over the top, as we talked about earlier. And then if we can't get over the top, some quick passing to get through the lines quickly. You know, it's all very good. You and I sitting there talking about it, but you know, we have to do something different. We have to do something different to last week. We've showed all season, to be fair, that we can't defend. We've got to attack. Simple as that.
For sure. Oh yeah, you know, and you know, I'd be an advocate for putting Danny Ings in that role. I thought he was quite, you know, decent with a few neat and tidy touches he had. In the Fulham game, he didn't do a hell of a lot, but he didn't have a hell of a lot to go off of. You know, if you're going to put him just back a little bit more, not as far back as that Paquetá role, but just playing off Antonio and being that one that gets the ball, or even if it's Antonio that might win the odd header and get it down to Danny Ings, or get Danny Ings picking the ball up from Ward-Prowse or Souček in midfield, and then either spraying it out to the wings or getting the ball and servicing Antonio up front, because we need to play to our strengths here and expose their weaknesses. We are all not tacticians and paid to look at this team and work out that their weakness is getting the ball to Antonio and running at the centre halves, because they were petrified of him last week. Get the ball to Antonio and let him kick it 20 yards and run, because they didn't have a clue how. And we did it twice in the first 20 minutes and didn't do it from that moment on. That's how we're going to exploit them. Maybe getting a corner and getting one in from a corner is the only other option in terms of goal scoring. But look, Moyes has paid the big bucks. He's got a group of blimmin' people. Have a plan. Have a plan that's something different from the week in, week out mold, because this isn't just any old game. This is, vitally important, and it's complex the way we've got to go about this. Look, they're 42 unbeaten. If we go out tomorrow and we have a go and we win or lose 1-0, whatever, and we have a go, you know what? We'd all sit here and go, fair enough, beaten by the better team.
Exactly.
But if we go out like a whimper and lose 1 or 2-0 sitting back like we do every week, I'll be absolutely livid. What's the point? Just go and have a go, for goodness sake.
Absolutely. That's the only thing they can do, Jake. And even David Moyes knows that. And the players know it as well. You know, what I'm worried about though is how many days is of training is Bowen going to have? Just 2. Do you know what I mean?
Chuck him in there. He'll chuck him in.
I don't know. He might keep him on the bench, Jake. He
I
might
did
well keep him on the bench.
I'd do it the other way around, Mike. I'd start him for half an hour because we need to start well. To start well. So put him off and say, look, Jared, give us the first half, everything you got. Let's just bombard him. If we're 1 or 2 down at half time, take him off. If we've got a chance, let's go. It's so important we start well tomorrow because, if we let one in after 5-10 minutes, the game's over. We're not going to score 4 against them. Simple as that.
No.
Oh, God, no.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, I think with the situation we were in and trying to get into David Moyes' mind, which is really not a good thing to do, I wouldn't recommend it. Paqueta and Emerson are not there. Bowen's trained today. Moyes said in his press conference that it will be a late call. I think he'll start him. And as Gary just said, whether it's half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, depending on the game situation, he's trained today. I think he'll start him, if I'm totally honest. As I said, how long he'll play, how long he'll get, that will have to be revealed, of course, as the game goes on. But I'll be incredibly surprised if he's on the bench. He's trained, and I think Moyes, as a sort of desperation ploy, will just put him in there and hope for the best. Right, let's take some comments. Let's have a look here. Mike says it's a free hit. We are already out, according to everyone. There has been pessimism, which is understandable. Look, it's unlikely that we get through tomorrow. We all know that. We can all acknowledge that they're a fantastic football team, and they've showed that over the course of the season. Nobody flukes 42 games unbeaten, 36 wins and 5 draw, whatever it is, whatever the statistic is. They've been sensational. Absolutely. Barry says, we've seen Antonio doing the holding up, but we need the Antonio banging headers and getting goals. Kudus needs to push us up the pitch. Antonio needs to get on the end of things, and look, everything's got to come. Fabianski turns 40 on the day of the game.
39, actually.
Oh, is it 39?
Yeah.
Oh, right. There we go. Andy says an early goal tomorrow, and you never know exactly. Get that early goal. It's so crucial. 20 minutes, 1-0 up. You never know what will happen, but we've got to give ourselves a chance. We've got to get ourselves into that position to do that to start with.
It's going to be a big game, Jake, because DJ Tony be there spinning the tunes, whipping the crowd up. So the crowd's going to be, going for it. So let's, under the lights, we might even spend some money on the old firework display again. So let's start positively. And Andy's 100% correct. It's so important. First 10 minutes, put them under pressure. Because that Sevilla night was so loud in there, it's unbelievable. If we can recreate that, we've got a hell of a chance.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. I'll tell you what, I don't know who that DJ was for the Spurs game, but it gave me a headache more than anything else. But yeah, I mean that light show for the Spurs game, that was rather jazzy, wasn't it? And some may say more exciting than the football, but 3-0 to Leverkusen. They will hit us on the break. Is that on aggregate or is that on the night, Michael? 1-1 says Sharky on the night. 2-1 to Leverkusen on the night. 3-0 West Ham. Go on, Barry. Love it, mate. Absolutely love it. They can't just sit back and take their time. We need 3 goals. Exactly. Antonio has to start, and we've got nothing to lose, so May as well. Go for it. Tar is their weak link. He has no pace ideal for West Ham and centre back. Exactly. Sharky says outside of the training grounds, the name West Ham is back up. Will the Spuds be cheering the Gooners on tonight, hoping to get the 5th place for the coefficient? I don't know. I suppose we should be cheering them on, really, but I still want.
I think this teams to go through.
Fair enough. Right then. Gary, it was your birthday the other day. What did you get for your birthday, mate? Anything nice?
Usual sort of stuff, mate. Socks, chocolates, clothes, usual sort of stuff. To be fair, they all tell me I'm difficult to buy for, which I am, to be fair. I just go and buy what I want. So it is quite difficult for them. So, no, it's just nice. Went out for a nice meal.
Nice.
The one time a year, Tracy's got to go where I want to go. So I take her to a fish restaurant.
Very good. Very nice. There we go. Right, let's do some predictions and let's do on the night. Forget the aggregate. What do you think the score is going to be on the night with no correspondence to what the aggregate score will be on the night, Mike?
Do you know what? I think we could pull off a shock and beat them, but I don't see them not scoring. So I'd say we win 2-1 on the night.
Knew it was a mistake letting you go first. Gary?
I think we're going to start really well, go 1-0 up, and sadly, someone's going to miss a big chance of Souček or Antonio, and they're going to equalise and it's finished 1-1. That's what I think. That's my head. My heart is saying 2-0 win on penalties.
I was going to say 2-1, but Mike's took that, so sod it. 2-0 win on penalties. Why the hell not? 2-0 win on penalties. We all go mental. And yeah.
Cool. Can you imagine that, Mike?
Oh, God. I might not get back for about 2 days.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, let's just hope their Bundesliga champions bender has gone on a lot longer than it was planned to. There was plenty of videos over the weekend of them chugging pints and chucking pints. So, yeah, let's hope they got a little bit overexcited and still haven't quite recovered. And maybe there'll be a little call for the lasagna chef to be in the London Hilton tonight, potentially, just to give us a little bit of a helping hand along the way. Right then, who takes our penalties? Oh, don't even go that. I won't be watching it. If it gets to penalties, I won't be watching it. I'll be looking the other way. That will not be happening.
Come on, Jay. Let's do 5 people. Ward-Prowse for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creswell was a sub who will come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's penalties and he's not on there,
would either of you trust Antonio?
No.
So he has taken them in the past, hasn't he?
Yes.
Has he?
Bowen would take. Bowen
Yeah, he has taken penalties.
Bowen he'll get taken off, Jake. There's no way he'll last 120 minutes. Kudus, yeah.
Alvarez a little good pen.
Souček?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Go down to 11 penalties and Soufal will have the last
Soufal, yeah. I tell you what, I reckon Mavropanos could hit a good Dawson penalty. I reckon he could. Could thump one.
He could well.
Yeah, call Benny back. Get Nobes down. Take his suit off. Nobes, you're coming on, mate. To be fair, last time we did that, it didn't end well against Man United, so we won't be doing that. But
Julian Dixon, Ray Stewart.
Exactly. Get them down from the hospitality lounge. Very good. Very good. We are not beating the Germans on penalties. I don't think it will get that far. So it's all hypotheticals, of course. Right then. So when am I putting this Jake doesn't buy a drink debate to bed then?
When he buys a drink.
Or when you've actually bought us one.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't help it if you A, don't turn up, or B, refuse them, lads.
We'll be there tomorrow, Jake, waiting for you.
Yeah.
No, I won't be there. I can guarantee you that. So
what you do, you transfer some money to the bar.
And me and Gary will be up there.
Yeah, we'll have one each. Tell you what, stick a couple $100 quid behind the bar. We'll buy loads of people one. You'll be the most popular person around.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. And you take the credit for it as well. If I put a couple $100 quid behind the bar. Very good. Well, I'll be at Palace on Sunday. I might buy Nigel a drink because Nigel doesn't give me so much stick on here. So
you should see him off there.
Yeah,
that's a great idea. Buy him a bottle of water. What should I do? I should print off a picture of a pint. I might do that at school tomorrow. I'll print off a picture of a pint and just give it to him.
That's fine.
There you go. Well, I'm sure it'll happen at some point. Saturday, Wincat and Mike. Are you gonna be entertaining that or not?
Yeah, I'll be there, mate. Yeah, I'll make sure they got some Drambuie in. make sure you got the magic touch for the floodlights on Saturday as well. Don't worry, never panicked.
Pacing up and down, the floodlights won't turn on. Very good. 20-minute old pint at London Stadium, £8. Well, yeah, exactly. If you want a pint at the London Stadium, then I'm only buying you one on the early bird deal because they're cheaper. Because I ain't paying full price, so you become on the early bird or not at all. But that's a good idea. Buy a big bottle of Coke and some paper cups. Happy days.
Even a Coke's £4.60 in there, £4.70.
Oh no, I'll take my own Coke, pound in Poundland or something.
But you'll never get past that very thorough security check, Jake.
Oh, exactly. Do. Off you go. No, sorry. Turn around. Off you go. Right. Final thoughts, Gary.
We just got. If I was the manager, I'd say make yourself proud. It's a quarter final of a European competition. It's a quarter final. They've got to leave everything on the pitch, and as we both said, all three of us have said, if we lose, giving it 100%, get clapped off. You know, in sport, sometimes the team's better than you. Nothing you can do about it. But there's no excuse at all for not trying to attack and trying to score. Moyes' biggest frustration for me, he sets up not to lose. We've got to set up to win tomorrow. Not to lose. We need to win. And if we don't win, well, we've got to go. That's life.
Absolutely. Just before you unleash your final thoughts, Mike, Tony Cotty has just tweeted, please let me dream this and for it to come true. Bowen 1-0 70 minutes, Souček 2-0 84 minutes, Antonio 3-0 114 minutes. Be one of the greatest nights. Come on, you Irons. That's what TC's going for. Mike, let's have your final thoughts.
Yeah, well, reiterate what Gary says, you know, just got to give it everything. We got to go for it. Yeah. If we lose 4 or 5-0, whatever, but we just got to go out and attack. And, you know, we've got to make their keeper do some work because we didn't. Jake, we haven't heard the fat lady singing yet. She might be warming up in the background, but
she's certainly doing the scales, Mike, to prepare.
Yeah, she is, yeah. So, hey, it's not all over yet, mate. There's hope. I know that usually kills us, but there is hope.
Absolutely.
It's not all over.
We scored 8 in 3 minutes, 3 and 8 minutes against Spurs. So
yeah,
we've done it before.
It's not all over. It is now. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for watching this match preview. Drop a like on it and subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you're new. Safe travels up to London tomorrow. I hope you have a fantastic evening, gentlemen, and come back home happy, because that would mean it was a momentous and fantastic night. Enjoy yourselves. Don't do anything I wouldn't. So that means don't buy a drink. And
we'll have a dry throat then.
Pleasure as always, Mike and Gary. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers.
From us, come on, you Irons. We will see you soon right here on West Unofficial. If anyone wants a drink, I'll be at Palace on Sunday. So if you want a drink, come and find me. See you soon. Bye bye.
Cheers, mate.